Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to some assemblage required video, which means I'm going to be using some wood veneer and some acrylic from the shop. And I am also doing this for Woodgrain and Winter hop and a mixed media Mayhem, which means I'm using stars, metallic, and either twine or thread. Those were the items on the recipe for this week. Excuse me, I'm starting out with paper from Paper Rose, and this is called, it's from their Mountain Trek collection. It's been in my stash for a long time. I only had a few sheets out of this collection left, and this was one of them, and I thought it was perfect for these really old photos of, well, one of them is my brother sliding down the snow in an inner tube, and the other is a family friend and me when I was just a little girl. So these are from 1978. So, yeah, I was just a little kid. And there's a lot of empty space in those photos with regard to the subject matter and how much snow is actually showing. So I'm going to actually place my title over the photos, but I am really only using adhesive on the bottom portion of the title piece, which is actually from Bramble Fox. And I'm only putting the adhesive on the bottom portion because the photos are old. I don't want to actually stick adhesive on the photo, so it's just going to be touching that piece of vellum or the wood grain. And then the wood pieces there I am using are from the Some Assemblage Required shop, as are the snowflakes and the little sign that says North Pole that is blue. So I thought they were perfect for this layout, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and use. I am using a stencil. I think this is from Spellbinders, and it's something stars. I'm not really 100% sure what the name of it is. I will have to look that up and tell you. But I am putting some paper glitz through it. It is white with silver, and so that is my metallic portion that I am using. And I really love the way that it comes out. It just adds a little sparkle. So the stencil is actually called All the Stars by Spellbinders. And I've had it in my stash for quite a while, so I don't know if it's even available anymore. But there you get to see some of those sparkly stars. If you purchase paper glitz, at least when I purchased it, it was really loose. And so putting it through a stencil was very difficult because it kind of smooshed under and ran. But as I've had it over time, it's kind of thickened up. It's not dry by any stretch of the imagination, but as most mixed media products do, they lose their moisture and start to dry up. But this one has lost some moisture, and now it's like the perfect consistency to put through a stencil. So if you have paper glitz and it's too runny, just let it sit for a while. It'll be perfect in a few months, I'm sure. These wood pieces that I'm using, I did use a piece of tape over the top. You might have seen me do that on screen there. I just put the duct tape or Gorilla Tape over the top, and I rub it really hard, and then I peel it up, and that takes the masking off of the wood. The masking is on the wood to protect it when it is getting cut by the laser so that it doesn't scorch the wood. So if you purchase any wood grain or wood veneer from MK's shop, someassemblagerequired.com, then you need to make sure that you remove the masking off the top because it will degrade the wood over time, and you don't want to leave it in your album that way. So I have added a little bit of twine to the top of this sled that has a flourish on it, and that was one of the reasons I used the tape rather than just peeling off the masking. You could just peel it off using like your tweezers or your fingernail, but because there were so many little pieces because of the etching that's in it, same with this triangular piece that has the deer and the trees on it, it means there's a lot of little pieces of the masking, so using the tape is really helpful for that. Now again, I'm not taking the backer off of these wood pieces where it's overlapping the photos. There is a backer on them because they are all adhesive backed, and they're only a 1/16 of an inch thick, you guys. They're not really thick at all, so they're perfect for this type of scrapbooking, and they're not adding a ton of bulk. And same with these snowflakes. Now the snowflakes did come out of the December monthly embellishment box. So in order to get those snowflakes, you do have to purchase the box. It also came with the tickets that you see next to my left-hand side, or left hand. There's some tickets there. There's some also some film strips that are green in this collection. You just don't get to see them there. I didn't fan them out enough, but I'm using some leftover ones from a different month in blue because I thought the blue matched a little better than the gray. So I just pulled out my blue ones that I had left. You just get a random sampling or a small sampling of tickets and postage stamps and film strips in the monthly box. You don't get the entire set that 49 and Market comes out with. You just get a bit so that you can play with them and not feel like you have an overwhelming amount in every single color, because they come with a lot, you guys. So, and this is just plenty for me, so I love it. Now the other pieces should be available in the shop. I think the snowflakes and the tickets were the only thing that were in the box. I believe the other pieces, the sled and the triangular piece there, those are from the shop, so you can buy those individually. I'll put links down below for you in case you're interested in that. I considered using those dies that look like deer off to the right hand side. Those are Tim Holtz dies. They don't make it on the layout. I thought it was just adding too much, so I went to some dies that I have that are just pine needles, and I'm using those instead. I've got two different kinds. One is from Momenta, the one that has multiple little sprigs on it. And then the individual sprigs, those are from Memory Box. And I've had them in my stash for a long time. I don't think they're available anymore, so I'm not going to include a link for those. But I do find foliage dies of any kind super useful, because you can put leaves and flowers on just about anything, you guys, and it really does soften up the look, and it makes great filler. And so in this case, I did do some in white and I did some in green, and I thought that was perfect because we're in the snow. There is some green in the background of this layout, but there's no real big green sections in the actual photos. But I thought to tie it in with the background, I would use a little bit of green. And since pine needles are normally green anyway, I would go with a little bit of green and some white to kind of give an overall like snowy look. And I really like the way that came out. Now I'm playing around with this sled and where I'm going to put it, and trying to figure out if I really care if I cover up the person that is standing up in the photo, because they're not part of our party. I don't know who that person is at all. But I also don't want to cover up my brother who is sliding down on the inner tube. So I'm just kind of figuring that out and kind of letting it sit there while I place these pine needles and decide what I'm going to do with that. While I add these pine needles, just want to remind you there are a bunch of people playing along with Woodgrain Winter. There's a playlist down below so that you can go and check out anyone who's decided to play along this today or throughout the series this month. And then Mixed Media Mayhem, we have a Facebook group you can go and join, Mixed Media Mayhem Scrapbooking. And if you go to the albums, you will see the inspiration coming up for the following Fridays. Sometimes it is an inspiration piece that we scrap lift, and sometimes it is a recipe. So go and check that out and play along with us. So we just have a lot of fun and really enjoy it, and hopefully you would enjoy it as well. I've also included a link down below to my own Facebook group. You can come and join me over there. It's been pretty quiet for a while. Just, the holidays, being sick, things have gotten in the way, and I haven't been able to do much over there. But I assure you, during the rest of the year, it is not nearly as quiet as it is right now. So go and check that out also. I am just using my liquid glue Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere all of these pieces down. Just putting a little bit on the spine of each one of these pine needles and tucking it in, and that is just plenty of glue. It doesn't need a lot, and none of this glue is actually touching these photos. The photos are actually matted with photo mats from Hobby Lobby. I buy them by the 100 pack, and they're 6.5 by 4.5 inches. I find them perfect for matting photos because I don't feel like I'm wasting a lot of paper, and there's not ever a lot left that I have to stick in my scrap bin. So if I cut into a 12 by 12 and I cut 2 little photos out like this, then I have a huge piece in my scrap bin, and I feel like I've used like a whole sheet of 12 by 12 when in reality I haven't, but it's in my scrap bin, and now my scrap bin is getting like super full. So using the photo mats works really well, and I really like that. I also tend to buy them when Paper Studio has their 40% off stuff, and so then I get them at a discount. Now I am cutting off a 1/4 of an inch off the bottom and the right hand side of this layout. My sprigs of pine needles got a little close to my left hand side, so I just took the border off of the right hand side, and I'm backing it with this Heidi Swap paper that I have a bunch of because I just love the blue border. I find that navy blue is something I really enjoy, and it was perfect for this layout, so I went ahead and backed it with that just to give it a nice framework. So the paper from Paper Rose is glossy, and my Muji pen would not write on it, so I pulled out my black Sharpie and just went over what I had started to write with the black, and that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and this layout. If you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. Hit the like and subscribe if you indeed enjoyed this video. Don't forget, you can go and check out all of these products in the Some Assemblage Required shop. Links are down below for that. Thanks again for spending time with me today, you guys. I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye-bye.